What's up? What's happening? 49er world. The draft has come and gone, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So, okay, what a great weekend that we had for some of us. Some of us didn't have such a good weekend. Um, the San Francisco 49ers did their draft, they got their guys, and then they signed some guys in the that didn't get drafted. And so I got one guy that I'm excited about, and we'll go into that in a little bit. So let me see now. Put up here if anybody want to jump in. But let's get to it. Okay. So the San Francisco 49ers, they got Jair Brown, the cornerback, Penn State. And not cornerback, their safety. So they went out and got a safety with their first pick. They traded up to go get him, which I think that was what John Lynch said he was going to do all the time. He said he was going to move up. If there's somebody that they see they like, they'll go out and get them. Okay. So a lot of excitement about this kid. Seems like he's going to take over the position if when Gibson leaves. So that was Jair Brown coming to the San Francisco 49ers. And then everybody were like wondering about the next pick, Jake Moody out of Michigan. They picked him in the third round, which they probably thought that the Patriots were going to pick him, so they didn't have a fourth round pick. And the Patriots did make a move, and they got another kicker, but we don't know which kicker it was. So Kyle Shanahan, they didn't want to take a chance, so they went out and got this kid. Played under Jim Harbaugh over in Michigan, so he does. He's a pretty good kicker from what everybody is saying. And I saw some of his highlights. He did a pretty good job kicking. So I don't know if it's a reach when it's the third, especially for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch in that front office. Usually they'll get a running back in the third round. That running backs don't seem to stick around very long in the third round that they pick. So is it a reach for the San Francisco 49ers? I don't think it's a reach for them. So they went out and got the person that they needed to fill a position that we know that Robbie Gould is leaving the San Francisco 49ers. He's going somewhere else. So that's what happened there. They took him. Then the next person that they got was the one that I had. He was a tight end. I figured him in the fourth, fifth round. If he was around in the fifth round, that the San Francisco 49ers would get him. He's a tight end, Cameron Latu. And glad that they went and got him. That's the guy I was like, hey, if they can get this guy, go get him. There's a couple of guys that I had on my draft board that went to other teams. So I thought that with that third round pick that they got, that they went and got Jake Moody, I thought that they would get, they would go after a tackle in the third round and select the kid from BYU, Blake Freeland. He wound up going to the Colts in the fifth round, but hey, that's what the draft is all about. They know who they wanted to bring in, and they went and got Joey Fisher, undrafted free agent. they picked him, and they were able to get a guy that was projected to be in the um, to get drafted in the third, fourth round on some of the guys' projections. Uh, some of the reasons why he didn't get drafted high or at all was because he went to a D2 school. He was a tight end turned tackle, but man, he's got some potential. Shorter arms, but you know what I say to anybody um, that's a player out there. It doesn't matter where you get into the NFL, how you get into the NFL. It just matters that you were given the chance to get in there, and then you go out and you show them what you can do. And that's the logic behind going to um, going to the NFL. If you're a player, you just gotta get out there and do it, man. Show them what you got. And I think Joey Fisher, he's absolutely going to challenge for that tackle position this year. So, hey, you heard it here on the Big Mac Show. So, um, the other, let's see. So going back to Cameron Latu, a lot of people thought that that was a reach for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think it was a reach. I don't think it was a reach at all. What I do think is they got a really exceptional, really good player, and he's uh, he's going to show everybody why they picked him. So there you go. He's going to be um, that other tight end that they needed from to help George Kittle. Now George Kittle is getting older, so in a couple of years, Cameron Latu might be the guy um, going in and helping this tight end room get better. And um, it's just one of those things that I really like his upside. I really like what he does on the field. And just to let you guys know, he's really good. A lot of people don't think he's really good at pass blocking and on the run game, but I think he's gonna show a lot of people that they were wrong. But I mean, the draft is what it is. A lot of people was wrong about everything. Everybody is wrong about Brock Purdy last year. So they can do all their analysis and everything that they want to do, but it's up to each individual player if they are um, if they come into the league and they do what they know they can do to help better a team. So that's just the thing about the draft is like you never know what would happen. Um, but certain players will come into the league and they'll take the league by storm. Brock Purdy surely did it last year, and so this year we know that the San Francisco 49ers, there's a lot of people looking for that Brock Purdy in the sixth round, fifth round that's going to come in and just take over and do things that you don't expect the person that gets picked last in the draft. You don't expect them to get drafted that far. So, but I like all the players that the San Francisco 49ers got because it showed that they were addressing needs that they needed to address, and they just went out and found the best players that were available that they like. And they do this a lot with their with this regime with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They identify players that has the traits that they like that are good in the locker room. Obviously, some of their first and second round players that they got before, um, they have questionable issues that they had off the field, and we saw that with Reuben Foster. But that's just it. That's just the things that happens. Is you don't know the mentality of some of the players of how they look at things when they get into uh, into the NFL. You know, some of them have some um, things that they issues that they need to deal with, but that's them. So for all the players that made it into the NFL this year, congratulations. Just get in there, work hard, and do what you need to do to be able to make that 53-man roster. Some of you will get traded. Some of you won't make the roster on the team that really selected you, but you'll be able to um, show other teams what you got. The San Francisco 49ers are stacked. So let me pull this up here. So they got Jake Moody, Cameron Latu, and then they went and got from South Alabama. They went and got what's his name here? Daryl Luter Jr. So all these players are excited to join the San Francisco 49ers, not just because the 49ers are a good team, but they know where the 49ers is going. I mean, just imagine if you get drafted by the San Francisco 49ers and they win a Super Bowl this year, and these guys get rings along with it. That'd be awesome for them. So we have a cornerback that's super excited to join the Niners. All of them are excited to join the San Francisco 49ers. So let's see. Then we have a real interesting guy, Robert Beal. He played in Georgia. They won 2 national championships. And just looking at the way this kid played for that Georgia Bulldogs team, he did a really good job. So you just gotta wonder why they slipped this far. But the San Francisco 49ers do a really good job of identifying players that will fit their team and their players, and then they bring them in. They bring them in, and they turn out to be great, very good players. I mean, George Kittle, look at him, 5th round. Talanoa Hufanga, same thing, came out in the middle rounds. And we may have another 5th rounder here that's going to just show everybody, hey, this is what you guys missed out by not drafting me earlier. So, I think that our guy from Georgia, Robert Beal Jr., he's going to show flashes this year. But I'm really excited for all these young players that the 49ers got for the team this year, and they'll be able to come in and compete. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, what I said was just here on my show, I told people to list 4 players that they would want to get and bring them in, and that could help the team out right away, get them to a Lombardi. I feel like a lot of people are missing this point on the players that the 49ers drafted this year. A field goal kicker or a kicker is very important because they usually win games. They win a lot of games because it goes down to like 4 seconds left, and the kicker is the one that comes out there. He kicks the ball. And a lot of times they win the game because of a kicker. So there's the reason why they went up so high to get a kicker. I don't know if a lot of people talked about this before, but when Janikowski came out of college and the Raiders picked him in the 1st round, a lot of people were scratching themselves in the head, like why would they pick a kicker in the 1st round? Well, he wound up playing for a long time and was a really good kicker for them. I mean, the guy just had a booming leg, and um, Jake Moody, that's what he has right now. So, all right. So we go on to the next guy that got picked, D Winters from, looks like he went to TCU. Actually, he went to TCU, and he was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. And if you look at his tape, this guy has outstanding speed. Um, so he gets to the ball quick, fast, linebacker. Um, it's not the linebacker that I wanted the 49ers to get. I wanted them to get Noah Sewell, who played for the Oregon Ducks. And congratulations to him. He's over there with the Chicago Bears. Now he fits the type of mold of linebackers that everybody's accustomed to with the Chicago Bears. So congratulations to him going over to Chicago, being picked by them in the 5th round. And so going back to D Winters, he's very fast and everything. So I know we lost Aziz to the Houston Texans. He went over there. So we picked up another guy. He's fast, he's speedy, he get to the ball quick, and he makes plays. So D Winters, we'll see. I think a lot of these guys will start off as special teams, depending on how well they do through the course of the year, and then they'll a lot of them will have more playing time as the season goes on. But that usually happens for the tight end. So we'll talk about another tight end later on. But I think Cameron Latu and the other tight end that they picked up is going to play some minutes because George Kittle does get hurt. Charlie Warner, I don't know if he's going to be still on the team after camps, or even Ross Dwelly. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. So our next person, Ronnie Bell, Michigan. All right. Another playmaker. This kid, he can move in space, and he almost looked like a smaller version of Brandon Ayuk. That's just my take. So he looks like a smaller version of Brandon Ayuk. But there's just watching his film and everything, it just seems like he just makes plays all over the place. And that's the thing about the San Francisco 49ers. They bring in people that they think can fit in and they can be a contributor right away. And I'm not meaning by a starter or playing significant minutes, but I'm talking about like during practice and challenging the first and second stringers and being on special teams. So special teams is a big, huge thing in football because you need these guys. Special teams they can really turn away a game goes from being down 14 to getting a turnover on the 5-yard line. They score right away and be down 7. We've seen it a number of times, onside kicks. So special teams is very important. And a lot of these players will start off in the special teams. So that's just to get them in there, get acquainted with the speed of the game. And then from there, depending on how well they do in practice, we'll see if they beat out some of the veteran signings that they brought in during free agency. And if these players are really good, they'll be able to beat them out. We saw it happen last year when Brock Purdy beat out, forget his name, but he beat out the other quarterback the San Francisco 49ers signed in the offseason for him to compete against Trey Lance for second string. Actually, he was going to be the second stringer. So but Brock Purdy beat him out on that. So we have the other guy, Jalen Graham. Call him the Joker. He's from the Boilermakers. So, um, what's up? What's happening, Seahawks, Eddie? So, Jalen Graham, the San Francisco 49ers, picked him in the 7th round, 255 overall. And like I said, like a lot of these players that the San Francisco 49ers bring in are players that can contribute in different ways. So they can come in and they can pick up the slack on some of the guys that don't want to be on the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to weed them out just like that. So they'll get them out of there. Seahawks Eddie, man, question for you. How was that? How did you feel about your Seahawks team and who they drafted? So yeah, just hit it up there, man. Want to know a little bit from other folks about their teams and how they did over this weekend. Mel Kiper said that the San Francisco 49ers had one of the worst drafts, and then he gave them a B. So I kind of find it hard to believe anything these media guys are saying out there. So yeah, come on in if you want to come on in. But it's just crazy to me to think that the national media, they want to make a narrative about the San Francisco 49ers and their draft picks, and the big one that I'm going to get into in a little bit here, about Trey Lance. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy talk from a lot of them. So bringing on board Seahawks Eddie. What's happening, Eddie?
Not much. How you doing?
Good, man. Just getting on here and just talking about the draft and how it went. I don't stream on Sundays, so it's hard for me to do stuff over the weekend.
No worries.
But yeah, tell me a little bit about the Seahawks. I got like one more guy that. I was going to talk about my Braden Willis from Oklahoma. He was the last guy that the 49ers picked in the draft. Really like his upside and everything, but and he's just called out all 31 teams that passed him up. But yeah, man, tell me what's on your mind, Seahawks Eddie.
So I want to say, look, our draft class, I'm going to give that like maybe an A-, B+.
Okay.
I mean, I know like there was half of our fan base that thought we were getting a quarterback this year, but some tells me we're probably going to do it next year. But we'll probably have to trade up if we want a good quarterback.
Yeah, so all those quarterbacks, they went early this year. So was there a particular quarterback that you would have loved to have on the Seahawks this year?
I would have loved Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he looks the part. That's what we were hoping Trey Lance will become. Is like he looked the part too, but it's so early in his career. But I have a feeling that he's going to show out this year. So, but yeah, Anthony Richardson, man, he looked really good on tape. How's you guys defensive line?
I mean, the way we've been doing, how we've been in the off season, it's like it's been a good start, but I think our secondary is going to look a little scarier this season.
Hey, you guys!
I didn't think we were getting another quarter.
Well, you guys have a really good. You guys had those two rookies. They're really good last year. I think this year they'll be better.
Tariq Woolen and Colt Bryant. Who you talking about?
Yeah, they're really good. Did you guys have a Jackson guy too? Michael Jackson?
Yeah, yeah, from back here.
Yeah.
I think he's
You're you're breaking
unrestricted
up.
free agent.
Say that again. You were breaking up pretty bad.
Is this yeah? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was unrestricted free agent.
Hey, Eddie, jump off and then jump back in. It seems like it's like breaking up pretty bad.
Hold on.
All right. Yeah. So Eddie will just jump back in. It's really interesting to listen to everybody with who their teams got drafted this year. Um, and I like that. I like talking to other people about their teams and how well they think they're going to do this coming up year. For sure, I think the San Francisco 49ers is going to do really good this year. And Braden, Braden just put it out there. He's like, hey, everybody that passed him up, they're gonna know. So Braden Willis is going to. He said it. He's gonna go out there and show why he should have been drafted higher by other teams. So we'll see what happens when that comes around. And so I wanted to get into this more as we're waiting for Seahawks Eddie to come back in. Let's see. So the San Francisco 49ers they do a really good job with undrafted free agents, picking the right guys, and they have a player. So I talked a little bit about Fisher, and I think he's going to do really good when he comes in. And the San Francisco 49ers also got another offensive lineman from Hawaii. He's undrafted free agent also, and they went and got him. So, man, they did a pretty good job in identifying players that they need to come in and fill position needs that they wanted. So, let me get out of this one here. It's Colette. I think that's his name. Let me just make sure. Okay, Niners. Oh, Eddie's back.
Is this better?
Yeah, you sound a lot better right there, Eddie.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was in an area where I was getting bad reception.
Okay. No,
Oh,
yeah, I did that too last week on CG stream. I was talking to him while I was driving, and it just went to a bad area. So, yeah. So let's go back. Let's see. Who did you get on your draft board? That
you talking about the first round? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
What player stuck out to you that you feel is going to be an impact this year for the Seahawks?
I'm gonna say that one got Jackson Smith, Jake from Ohio State. That's gonna be so which means Geno Smith's gonna have another weapon to hit. And then
So
that
he's
what? And sorry, go ahead.
yeah, you're breaking up again.
Sorry about. Oh, it's always
Yeah,
bad
I can hear
area.
you
Okay. Yeah. Then I watched video of that quarterback we took in the first round. It's like man, this guy could be the next Cam Chancellor.
Man, everybody wants a guy like Cam Chancellor, man. That dude was a freak.
And then of course Richard Sherman gave him a good message. And then oh yeah, I'm telling you, he's gonna teach him the best. Now my question to you, like, what was the what was the one player you guys wanted the most off when you guys drafted?
But sorry, Eddie. Something happened with my computer. What was that again?
Yeah. What draft pick of yours were you guys impressed with the most?
You know what? I'm not because I didn't really follow all these guys, and I'm gonna go over that later today when I get on with CG and them for the roundup. But a lot of I had one guy that the San Francisco 49ers picked this year that I had on my draft board of who I wanted the San Francisco 49ers to get. And that's the Cameron Latu from Alabama. Because I just think he's just got the physical traits and everything about him. He tries to do everything like George Kittle. So I'm glad that we got him. But overall, I think they just brought in players. So the guy that I'm really impressed with wasn't even drafted. We picked him up in the undrafted free agents as a undrafted free agent, and
Oh,
that's
who's
that.
that?
That's Jack Coletto from Washington. From Oregon State. So
Okay.
he played multiple positions. So um, I could go back to when I spoke with. I don't know if you ever saw Wolfcast.
Yeah, I've been on one of his streams before.
Yeah, so Wolfcast and I we talked about if the San Francisco 49ers had a player similar to um, similar to what's his name? I'm forgetting his name now. He's the quarterback slash everything that the New Orleans Saints have. It's that he's not in my head right now, but Wolfcast and I talked about if we had a player that could do everything, can throw, do a little bit of everything else. Like this guy played linebacker in college at Oregon State. He played quarterback. He played fullback, and they put him at tight end too. So they had him in a lot of different situations. So and I told Wolf at the time when Brock Purdy got hurt at that NFC championship after the NFC championship game, I said, if we brought in a guy like that's just crazy. I keep forgetting his name. Do you know who I'm talking about, Eddie, on the New Orleans Saints? He's their backup quarterback, his second stringer.
Man,
They have
not
him lined
Jameis
up.
Winston. Not Jameis Winston, is it?
No,
Oh
because
no. Taysom
Taysom
Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Exactly. Taysom Hill. So and I told Wolf, I said, hey, if the 49ers can go out and get a guy that's just like Taysom Hill, and the situation that happens because you can only carry 3 quarterbacks into the game, but you had another person in there, like what they try to do with Christian McCaffrey in
Yeah.
the championship game, and it didn't work out, right? But if you had a guy like Taysom Hill, we can't afford Taysom Hill, but they went and got a guy that's an undrafted free agent that does everything like Taysom Hill. We're talking about he does everything like him. He's got a nice ball, deep ball. He can run up the middle. He can go out as a receiver, as tight end. He can block. He does every little thing like that, and then they can, if they wanted to, put him out there as a linebacker. I mean, he's that good, like that versatile. And so the San Francisco 49ers, when I saw this today, I was like, oh, they must have been listening to my show or something, because they went and got the guy a guy just like Taysom Hill that I wanted them to get on the team. Now, granted, he has to go and make the team first, but
Yeah.
that's who I'm kind of more excited about that guy than anybody else that they got this year. Joey Fisher will be there also, because they got him as an undrafted free agent, and I think he's going to make big strides for the offensive line for the San Francisco 49ers. So he'll push Colton McKivitz there for the right tackle. So yeah, that's who I'm excited about. So who do you have that you were excited about?
I mean, I'm glad we took a running back from Georgia. I knew we were going to, since we let go of like Rashad Penny and Travis Homer. And then I think the Bronco fans were mad that we took that one center from Michigan. Man, his name is going to be hard to pronounce.
I know who you're talking about, because that's what some of the guys, they wanted him just because of the center that we have, Brendo. He wanted to get somebody else.
Yeah, and then we took a defensive end.
Yeah, so I'm putting it up here who you guys drafted. And I mean, like, it's so crazy. Like, when I watched how the Seahawks, how Pete Carroll and company, how they build their roster and everything. Sometimes I kind of wonder. I mean, didn't they get what's the quarterback for Denver now? Russell Wilson. Didn't they get him late in the draft? Are you still there, Eddie?
Yeah. I guess. Sorry, my connect. Sorry, my Wi-Fi. You have to forgive my Wi-Fi sometimes to that stuff.
So I was just asking. They draft. They're methodical in the way they draft players. The Seahawks are.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys got Metcalf, and I wanted the 49ers to pick Metcalf. And then in the first round, get Metcalf and get Debo, because they came out the same year. And I was hoping that they got both of them. But they ended up with Debo. We ended up with Debo. You guys ended up with Metcalf. And I was like, oh, crap, man. We have to deal with that guy. But Metcalf is a heck of a player, too. And I think this this Witherspoon guy is just going to add to your DBs. It's just crazy that they went out and got another DB when they have already some good DBs, but they probably felt that they couldn't pass up on this kid. So you guys had two picks in the fifth round, in the fifth pick, and then one in the 20 number 20 pick, right? Jackson Smith.
Yeah. What?
You guys got Njigba from Ohio State.
Yeah. Yep.
So quarterback, a receiver again. Man, you guys are going to be stacked. It's going to be a fun season.
I mean, I know in case one day like Tyler Lockett decides to try to call it a career with, so I think yeah, because he got an extension last year, so so he believe he's got 4 more years left with us.
unless he retires. I mean,
Yeah,
and sometimes a lot of players they will just end up retiring and getting out while
so
they're ahead, so they don't get more brain damage.
yeah. So my question to you is were you one of the Niner fans that wanted Jake Brandel gone too in the off season?
Well, I wanted them to. There's a lot of positions that I wanted them to upgrade on. Brendel, I didn't really care about. McGlinchey, I really wanted gone. Um, he he's just a casualty. I mean, yeah, and also Garoppolo, I really needed him to leave. So yeah, but Brendel, I wasn't too much on that.
Hey,
If that
yeah,
answers.
you got your wish. Everybody, I remember everybody popping those bottles of champagne when you guys saw that he went to the Raiders.
Oh, Garoppolo.
Yeah,
Well, when I saw he went to the Raiders, I was actually in Vegas at the airport, and it came out on the ticker as I was waiting. There was so many Raiders fans over there, so pissed off. It was just so funny, and I was just cracking up.
it's like, man, I want to go back to Vegas again soon.
I was like cracking up. They were all like, people were like, "Oh hell no, we went and got that guy. We took, we didn't. We went from another car to another car."
Mm.
I think Carr would have been better for them. Garoppolo just gets hurt too often. That's just
He does. He
bottom
can
line.
never stay healthy.
Yeah, that's just the bottom line. And talking about quarterbacks, um, right after Brock Purdy got hurt, I got on a couple of people's streams and I told them that Trey Lance is going to start the year because an injury like the one that Brock Purdy got, you're looking at like November at best, or even sit out the whole year and get rehab and get healthy there. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been seeing some of you guys calling out a lot of the fan base for wanting to rush Brock Purdy back on the field. It's like you need to get that man 100% 100 good to go.
yeah, and what's funny is Eddie, is a lot of the fans that are like hating on Trey Lance, not giving this kid a chance. They What they're doing is telling a young man that, hey, you're no good. You don't belong here, um, without even giving him a chance. So it's just like if you were the last person on the playground getting picked to play on a pickup game, you're like, dude, I can outplay all of these guys. And that's how I felt about Trey Lance. I was like, because I've been there where I was the last person picked, where people didn't know who I was at all. And they picked me last to play on a basketball team or on a football, or, play like pickup football with them. And they
Yeah.
don't, they don't know that what kind of player you are until they see you play. And that's the thing about Trey Lance. We haven't really seen him play. So my analogy on that is that a lot of people, when they see me, they don't look at me as somebody that can play basketball. I mean, that's just the facts. But until I play basketball and then they see, then they're like, oh crap, how come we didn't get this guy when we first played? Because I've been there. I was in New York, me and a buddy of mine, and we asked who got next on the basketball court, and they just looked at us and like, I mean, granted, I was 285 pounds, he's 425 pounds. We just looked like some fat guys out there, but they. So we picked up a couple guys and we started playing basketball. Um, the 425-pound guy that was with me, he did a two-handed reverse dunk, and everybody just stopped and they were like, "Oh crap!" Because they never seen us play. So of course they're not going to want to pick up just some guys that just comes up. And that's how I feel about this 49er fan base is that they haven't seen Trey Lance really play, so they're like already misjudging him just because of the fact that he hasn't played. And yes, Brock Purdy came in. He had a good run, 8 games, but we saw that before. I saw that before with Jimmy Garoppolo. Came in, had 5 straight games that he won. Then they gave him a huge contract. He gets hurt in the Kansas City game the following year, but then he got us to the Super Bowl the next year. Um, they gave him credit for that, but I gave the more credit to Kyle Shanahan in the run game for getting us to the Super Bowl, because if you go back and look at that 200 yards that Raheem Mostert had against the Green Bay Packers, that just tells you the whole story there. I mean, in the playoffs, Garoppolo only threw 8. He only threw 8 times after the first playoff game. So a lot of people, you can't prejudge on a player. And going back to quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, when he came out of Wisconsin,
Yeah.
I was like, man, this kid is gonna light things up, and I was right about that back then.
Oh,
So,
yeah. After watching him in preseason, it's like, yeah, he definitely beat Matt Flynn out of the starting job.
no, I watched him in college, and I was like, man, this kid's gonna be good when he comes out, and he was. I mean, he was. Look what he did. He came and took that starting job that summer. So after they gave after the Seahawks gave who was it that they gave? They gave him a pretty good contract for coming over there, and the kid that was drafted later in the draft, Russell Wilson, came in there and beat him out. So there you go. And I feel the same way about Trey Lance. I think that a lot of people are misjudging him just based on what they saw. It was just a little sample size that they saw. They didn't see a whole lot. So I think they're misjudging him on that. And credit to him for going out this offseason and getting ready and prepared by calling up Mahomes to help him get ready for this coming year. And there is absolutely no way Sam Darnold is going to be the first. Is going to beat him out.
Yeah,
I'm saying that right now. So.
Yeah, I know all these years Russell Wilson has given you guys so many problems.
Oh yeah, he gave us a lot of problems, man. And he was smart too. I mean, Russell Wilson was really smart. When somebody jumped off sides from San Francisco, that was just a cue for him to throw that ball deep. And I saw it over and over. And man, I got so sick and tired, I almost threw up from seeing that. He did that all the time, man, and it's just scary. Russell Wilson was scary. He really put a number on the 49ers when he was there playing for you guys. So,
and I will say this too: it's like 30% of our fan base. I remember a lot of our fan base didn't believe in Geno Smith, and then okay, you know how we were supposed to only win 6 games, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden later, like, whoa, he surprised everybody.
Well, that's the thing that I always stress this about players getting into the NFL. It doesn't matter how you got there. When you get your chance, go out and prove yourself that you belong there. And Geno Smith surely did that last year. Jalen Hurts did that too, because he didn't look like early on he was going to be who he is now. So there's a lot of times a lot of people want to give up so quickly because they saw things that happen. I mean, granted, this year Brock Purdy freaking he took over by storm, but
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm now starting to see Geno Smith jerseys.
You're starting to see. So, do you live there in Seattle?
I'm south of Seattle.
What part?
I want to say, okay, I'll say Tacoma, like about 35 minutes south of Seattle.
Okay, a little
Tacoma.
bit past Tacoma. Tacoma.
Well, I'm out there. Well, are you in the? Are you actually in the city of San Francisco?
No, I actually live in St. George, Utah, or in Washington, Utah, by St. George. So,
Okay.
yeah, I used to live in Sacramento. Um, Grew up liking the Niners and everything, but I used to live out there too. And I used
Yeah.
to stay out in Seattle for a little bit. I was in Vancouver also, uh,
Yeah.
Seattle. So we did a whole lot of hotel renovations when I stayed up there for work.
Yeah.
So we took
Cheaper out where you are?
no, it's getting the prices are pretty high over here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not any cheaper than Sacramento anymore because a
I
lot of people are moving in.
It's like I go in California. It's like nope, won't be moving out there anytime soon because it's way too expensive.
Yeah, the average homes out here are around 450,000. So that's the average,
Yeah.
and that's like a 1,800 square feet home, a small home.
I mean, well, no, California is cool to visit, but I don't know if I actually see myself actually living out there.
Yeah, I like California. I grew up there and everything, but there's just too much politics that get in the way of
Yeah.
everything there. So I had a business out there, um, and I just closed up shop, left because it's too much. You got to pay for every single thing. Everything is regulated. Um, so yeah, it's one of the most heavy taxed states there is, and for business owners, it's really hard too. There,
Yeah. Even
but
if you live in the suburbs, it's like it's probably still too expensive.
well, it is because everything. If you have a business license, you have to go register with all the different cities that you go into. So you got to pay for all those. If you're, let's say you have a job in Fresno, you got to go to Fresno and pay for your city license in Fresno, even though you don't live there. Even if you have a state license, you still have to go and do those things. So it just, and then the workers' comp is just huge. It's a big cost out there, and then gas is even big. So like for guys that are doing landscaping and concrete and construction, that's one of the that's just a there's a lot of cost that comes with being a business owner there. But I heard that Texas don't even have taxes, so maybe I should go there.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. So what prediction for this coming year for your Seattle Seahawks? I know it's really, really early, but how many wins and losses will they have this coming year?
Well, the way they impressed me, like maybe 10 wins, but I just go one game at a time.
Yep. So you have it going 10-7 now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be that season again,
Okay.
but
Well, I
if we
don't think
go
the
more than
Rams and the
10,
Cardinals are going to do anything this year. I think it's just going to be
no.
those teams, the San Francisco 49ers and the Seahawks,
Yeah,
battling. So
I think the Cardinals are gonna finish dead last.
I think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, because like they're not gonna get Kyler Murray till like about maybe halfway through the season, or like no, should I say like maybe week 13, week 14 because of an ACL injury.
See, and that's the same that I was thinking about Brock Purdy, but yeah, there's just a dysfunction there in Cardinals land. So they're not going to. I don't think they're going to do anything this year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Rams were smart to take a quarterback because because Matthew Stafford can can announce his retirement anytime.
Yep. Yeah, and I heard a lot of people talking about this, and I don't think it's true, but they think that what's that the defensive lineman that they have that the Rams have.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I heard that Aaron Donald is trying to leave the Rams. I don't buy it. I think it's just
I
like,
don't think he would.
yeah, I think
The only
it's just people just like spewing out things in the off season and hoping that it'll stick and
the
things
only
like
way
that.
he's out of there is if he announces he's retiring.
Yeah, so I tapped into one of Rudy's show, Ramelia.
Yeah.
He was saying that he got a report that Aaron Donald just retired. And I was like, God, that doesn't seem right. But
Oh.
me, those are a lot of things that happens in the off seasons. There's like rumors and all those things. And the biggest rumor was for the San Francisco 49ers is that Trey Lance is going to be traded on draft day, and that came and gone, and that didn't happen. So
People said that about DeAndre Hopkins. Like they've been talking about that for a while.
Yep. But it's the off
Yeah.
season. Everybody's going to make up all kind of stories that we're going to hear from now until August.
Yeah, and this is why I tell everybody, stop believing everything you see on.
Yeah, to your point, it's like everybody sees somebody reporting on Twitter, and they think it's true, and they think that's it's fact and everything. And so all of those guys, they're wrong on most of the stuff that comes out. But hey, Eddie, thanks for hopping in with me today. We're gonna end the stream here, but I appreciate you coming on and letting us know a little bit more about the Seahawks and your draft picks that you guys have. So I'll be back on later today with CG in the 6 o'clock hour with their roundup, talk about all the different stuff. So yeah, chime in on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting ready to say I'm gonna have to get ready for work soon.
Yeah, everybody's got to work to make that living. What do you do for work, Eddie?
I work in a Target store.
Okay. Hey, do you get a lot? If you get a lot of Prime drinks over there, let me know.
All right.
They happen to run out a lot out here, so. But yeah, all right. Appreciate you coming on, Eddie. We're gonna just.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Talk to you later.
We'll see you.
All right. Bye. All right. Bye.
All right. So CG tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll be doing a roundup. That's 6 o'clock Pacific time. So we'll be doing that later today. And it's going to be pretty interesting because of all the different players that the San Francisco 49ers drafted this year. And I'm really excited about all of them. Glad that they're on with the San Francisco 49ers. They're some of the players that I wish they would have got. It didn't happen, but we're here now. So anyways, just to wrap things up, go Niners. See you on the next stream.